We're going to start with a meditation, so get ready to meditate.
Okay, let's start. Relax your eyes. Relax your hands. Pull in your stomach a little bit. Stop texting. Relax your mouth. I'm sorry, turn off your cell phone if you didn't do that already. And start to watch your breath. Special attention to the exhales. Then please ask someone who's important in your life to come into the room, a teacher. Could be someone who's alive, could be someone who's not. Could be a teacher in the present time, could be a teacher from the past history. Ask them to come and sit in front of you. And relax with them. And we'll do the traditional warm-up for meditation. The first step is to bow down to them. We can do that mentally by thinking about the good quality they have that we would like to learn from them. So if it's a piano teacher, it's that they can play the piano. If it's a spiritual teacher, it would be things like patience or kindness, satisfaction. And secondly, make them an offering. The best offering to a teacher is that you did what they asked you to do. So maybe yesterday I tried to stop one of my bad habits. Or I was nice to somebody that I have trouble with, and offer that to your teacher. Then if we made any mistake yesterday, we can be honest about it with our teacher. Maybe I said something bad about somebody, or I lost my patience with somebody, or I didn't thank people enough. Then again, think of something you're happy about. Could be a good deed, a good seed which you planted. For me, for example, the student center is so beautiful and so nice to be in, and it must be coming from some good I did in the past. And then meeting together here is such a beautiful seed for great things in the future for all of us together. So be happy about good seeds you planted in the past, and they opened already, and new good seeds you're planting here. In your mind, tell your teacher, Then ask your teacher to teach you. Ask all the Buddhas to teach you. Some teachings are in the class. Some teachings are in the cafeteria, eating with someone. Some teachings are negative. Someone hurts you, and it makes you stronger and you learn more. So ask for teaching. And then finally ask your teacher to stay with you. We take our teachers for granted. We think they will be around forever. But that karma is very difficult to maintain. And they pass out of our life. But if we ask them to stay sincerely and frequently, then it helps plant a seed for them to stay. Then we'll start the main meditation. If you have to move, you can move right now. You can move your legs or you can scratch your nose. And we're going to do a meditation about the good fortune that we were born in a place where we have access to beautiful ideas, teachings. There are countries in the world where there are no teachings about love, there are no teachings about wisdom, just hatred or violence. And we're not like that. We were lucky from the time we were young, and beautiful ideas came to us through books or through internet or through teachers, through parents. And these beautiful things came into our lives. I remember when I was about 12, My father went to Japan and came home with a little Buddha statue, and so my karma brought a Buddha statue to me in a country that has no Buddha statues. And then I met my teacher, and many books came to me. And I can think I'm so lucky to have a chance to look at those things, to hear those things. And so I'd like you to meditate. We'll meditate for about 10 minutes. Just think, how did you get here? Who called you about this teaching, or who wrote to you, or where did you see the first book about these beautiful ideas? And what was the string of karmas that opened and brought you here? To meet these beautiful ideas. Then please come back to your breath. You can open your eyes, stretch. We're on the third good luck. Inside or outside? Outside. Okay, good. Here we go. Adam, I think we're on Temba Manyam. Yeah, there you are. Okay. Temba Manyam Bar Nepani means, so this one started that some holy beings have come to this world, okay? It's not just the Buddha. So we are lucky in this world. We have many holy beings have come to this planet. So this is a planet of light. There are dark planets where people just live like animals, and there's no holy ideas, good ideas, sweet ideas, and we're not like that. So I don't know, I grew up in a Christian church, and Jesus brought many beautiful ideas to this world, and Moses and Muhammad and Buddha. So we are lucky in this world. We have many beautiful beings came to this world. And they had time to teach, okay? Some of them not very long, then they got crucified or something. And but some of them, Lord Buddha stayed, he taught for 50 years, and we were lucky. But sometimes, I don't know if you know, when Christianity was growing in the world, there were 20 or 30 other religions at that time, like Zoroastrianism, and they just died. They just died out, mostly died out. And we are lucky that not only did a Buddha come to this world, and not only did they say things, but those teachings still exist, okay, in this world. They're not gone yet, okay? They still exist, and we can follow them. So after 2,500 years, there are still beautiful teachings in this world, okay? Strange thing happened with Buddhism. The one that went to Tibet especially, usually if I tell something to Aldo, and then he tells it to Maria, and then she tells it to Paul, and then she tells it to Catherine, and it goes like this. If I say, meet me at 2 o'clock in Jamyang to play rock and roll, then by the time it reaches over here, it will be, Geshe-la wants a pizza tomorrow, you know, and so usually the teaching gets worse and worse. Every generation forgets something, they don't take good notes, and, you know, it tends to get worse and worse. But in this tradition of Tsongkhapa, something very strange happened. It got more clear every year, okay? Every generation, people worked harder and harder to find the meaning, and we are lucky, okay? So there are 200,000 books that we can read, and we can study, okay? I told you a story about my Lama. He came to America in 1972. And I was in the class in 1974. And 74. And there was a guy there, a scientist from Bell Laboratories. This was like the best scientist in America. And he was sitting in the back. His name is Steve Foster, but my teacher called him Steve Faster. And he interrupted the class, which is a sign of a new student. And you never interrupt the class in the monastery. Otherwise, you will get a rosary blessing on your head. And he said, "Excuse me, Lama, how long this class is going to take, before you're finished, And my teacher was a really tough guy, and he's this. He talks like Star Wars. I can listen, just listen. He also talked a little bit like Dirty Harry. Clint, just listen. I can teach you for 30 years, and I won't repeat anything. Okay, he said that, and then 2000 something. We are sitting in the class. We are still sitting in the same class, in the same terrible chair. They are wooden torture chairs, and you can't move because the Lama doesn't like it, Then he's teaching, Lama's teaching. Then he stopped the class. He stopped the class, and everybody's like, "What's wrong?" He said, and that guy was still in the back. "Steve Foster, do you remember the question you asked me 30 years ago?" He says, "Oh, yeah." So how long, how many weeks is it going to take this class? And he says, "What did I say 30 years ago?" He said, "You said you could teach me for 30 years and you won't repeat anything." He said, "Is it true?" He said, Jenda. It's true. Yeah, okay? So we are lucky. We are in an unbelievable lineage, okay? In Russia, there's a special library. It was made by the king of Russia 300 years ago, the Tsar. It's near the Hermitage, near the Great Museum of Russia. And there are Tibetan books there and Chinese books, okay? Many of the books from Dunhuang were borrowed. And every country did that, okay? Not just Russia. America did it. England did it, okay? Maybe they'll give it back. I hope so. But, we heard there are some Tibetan books there, and we talked to them. We said, "Can we make a list of all the books here?" Just a list. Because they didn't have a list, no catalog. They said, "Yeah, okay, you can do it. You have to pay all of our staff. You have to pay all of your staff. You have to pay for the office. You have to pay a gift to the library." And so we paid everything. And we started to make just a list of the names of the holy books there. It took 14 years. Okay, 3 people working full-time. It took 14 years to write the names of the books, okay? 141,000 books there, okay? So we are rich, Our lineage is rich, and every year it got better and better. Every generation got better and better, okay? We are very lucky, okay? I can teach you for many years. I'm frustrated because I don't have enough time. There are many things I'd like to teach you, many, many, many things, but we don't have time, So we are lucky. The Buddha came, the Buddha spoke, and those teachings are still alive. So that's number 3. Those teachings are still alive. Not just alive, they are more healthy than before, okay? Temba manyamra nepani, jupe tembate pak lam ngusu topalache. I'll teach you a very beautiful thing. There's an important book called Abhidharmakosha. It was written 1,700 years ago by Master Vasubandhu. It's very popular in China before. And when we do DCI program, and we talk about the 4 steps for getting anything you want, what are they? Number 1, decide what you want. Okay, I want a boyfriend, or I want to play rock and roll, or I want to have yo chow the rest of my life, or I want the whole world to be happy. Those are all about equal. Then Secondly, you must find someone else who wants that thing. Third, 1 hour a week you must help them in the Shimbaka. Okay. They opened a Shimbaka, a new one in Sedona. And they opened one across the street from my old lady. It's just coincidence. And number 4, at night, relax, think about the good things you're doing, because that puts water on the karmic seed. If you don't put water on the karmic seed by being happy about what you're doing good, it doesn't grow. And nothing will happen, and there won't be any Starbucks in your town, okay? Those come from Abhidharmakosha, very beautiful book. But the last words of the Abhidharmakosha are, will this teaching survive in this world? And he says, no, it won't survive, okay? It will die. At some day it will die. But it will die in 2 stages, in 2 steps, okay? First stage, nobody will understand Kongxing. Okay? People will forget about emptiness. Okay? There will be nobody in this world who saw it directly. Okay? That will happen first. So first the Dharma inside of people's heart will die first. And then there will be books in libraries, and people will go to the library and say, what's this book? And they won't know what it means, and they'll throw it out, okay? Maybe a couple 100 years later, all the books will be gone, all the databases will be gone, all the videos will be gone, and then the teaching die, okay? And then people will live like animals, okay? Then people will live like animals after that. I was in I told you this story in DCI. I was in Mongolia. I was teaching in Mongolia. People ask me, what's the biggest place you ever taught? I said, I taught in a stadium in Mongolia. I don't tell them the stadium only fit a few hundred people, okay? Then, you were there, I think, Haggerty. Then we were walking down the street at night and go back to the hotel. And I saw an animal came out of a hole in the street, you know, and I was shocked, you know, I was like, oh, and it looked like a wolf. It was pretty big, you know, like this big. And it came up out of the street, you know, and it ran away. And I'm like, oh, I was really scared, you know. And then we went close, and it was a sewer hole for the sewer. And there's a metal cover on it. And I looked down and I said, what is that? And my friend, Batbolt, my translator, he said, that's a sewer. I said, there are wolves living in the sewer in Ulaanbaatar? He said, no wolf. That's a human child. That's a human. Then I said, what are they doing? Why are they in there? Oh, those are the kids who have no mother, no father. You know? Then why they stay in the sewer? It's warm in the sewer. The poo-poo is warm. You know? The whole city is cold. This is Mongolia. Everything is cold, you know? But under there, it's a little bit warm. So there are hundreds of children, and they live in the sewer. And they come out, they lift the cover, and they run out. And he said, don't get near them. They will bite you. Or they will scratch you, you know. And I'm like, why? He said, they are like animals. Nobody taught them to talk. Nobody taught them anything. They are like a wolf. They are like an animal. Don't come close to them. And our friend lost his computer, remember that? He had his computer like this next to him, and then one of those kids run by and just stole it, you know. And they're like wild animal, okay? So after the Dharma dies on a planet, people are like that. Okay? After people forget the Dharma, first in their heart, then the books will disappear. Then people live like animals. They just try to hurt each other, and there's no Dharma, there's no morality. Just try to fight for food and fight each other like that. Okay? So we are living in a good time. The Dharma is still here. So I ask you, which Dharma is more important? Inside of heart or in the book? Yeah, inside the heart. Okay? So, number 3, when you teach it to somebody, you can say Dharma is still in this world, but where? Inside people's heart. Okay? If the Dharma is only in the book and there's no Dharma in the heart, then we can say the Dharma died in this world. Okay? All right? So number 3 means what Buddha taught is still alive inside people. Okay? And especially what? DCI level 7. You can go to Taiwan this year. If you don't want to wait in China for level 7. What's level 7? Yeah, see Kongxing directly. How to see Kongxing directly, okay? And that's different from going to a talk. And it's different from reading a book. It's very, very important, okay? You cannot become a Buddha without that. You cannot help people without that, okay? So you should come, okay? Maybe I'll die, maybe you die. You should come now, okay? If you have a chance, okay? It will be in Taipei. I don't know, what month, Scott? January 19th? She's trying to get everything ready. God bless. Okay. So, Drupe Tenpa means the teaching as people are succeeding in the teaching, successful teaching in your heart. Paklam means the path of an Arya, okay? The path of someone who saw emptiness directly. Ngosu Topala Che. If someone actually achieved that, then the Dharma exists in the world. If there's one person on this planet who still has that understanding in their heart from seeing emptiness directly, then the teachings are still alive in this world. Okay? Cool? All right. Theang tengsang ngap gya tak chu lung ki tu yin xing un kyang sangye ki temba lung ki tu yin yang rang gyu la tok pe temba kena rang la trebu temba tarwa yin. Theang tengsang means nowadays sang ngap gya means 500. Tak chu means tens of 500s. How many tens of 500s? Okay. Lungi du yin. So, lungi du means the time when the physical teachings are still surviving. Okay. Many people say we're in the last 500 years. Okay. The last group of 500 years. Okay. And that's called the time of the teachings are still alive. The books are still here. Yinxing unkyang sangi ki temba lungi tu yin yang. We can say the Buddha's teaching exists as long as the books exist, but rangyula tope temba kena. But if you can get those teachings in your heart, if you can understand them, tope temba means the teachings as ideas which people are thinking, okay? The teachings as ideas which are alive inside of people. Okay, tope temba kena, if you have that, rang la drebu temba dharwayin, then the teaching has spread. Okay, so people say, oh, did the teaching reach China? Did the teaching reach Mongolia? Did the teaching reach Japan? Okay? But what about the heart teaching? How does that spread? From heart to heart, okay? So it's not, when we say, did the teaching spread, you have to ask, Do you mean the books or you mean the ideas? You see? Because the books came to this country or the books are still in this country, but the ideas are dead or the ideas never reached that country, okay? So it's possible for books to come to a country or video, but the idea didn't spread, okay? So we are lucky. Debut Temba means we have the result of the books in our mind. We have the ideas in our mind, okay? The teaching has the teaching spread to your country? Then yes, I can see the videos on internet, you know. Then we say, no. Has the idea spread to your country? Okay. Do people understand about the pen? Do people understand those ideas? Then we can say Buddhism came to your country, okay? Not the books, not the internet, okay? All right. So we are lucky that still survives in our world. We still have it, okay? Deta me par kadam koma tsu chir ki temba ocha ki gila me ocha ki temba good nuptima soma go sung. So there were some Buddhist people in Tibet when Buddhism first came to Tibet, okay, which was exactly 1,000 years ago. So Buddhism came to China almost 1,000 years before that. Buddhism has been in China almost 2,000 years. About 100 years after Christ, Buddhism came to China. But it didn't reach Tibet for another 900 years, okay? But the first Tibetan Buddhists were like hippies, okay? Like somebody out in the desert who builds little retreat houses and, you know, tries to do those things. They were just like us, okay? Just like us. They're called Kadampa, okay? Kadampa. Say Kadampa. Kadampa. There's a new group nowadays, a small Buddhist group. They call themselves Kadampa. It's a good name, okay? But the real Kadampa was 1,000 years ago. And their name is cool. Their name, Kadampa, means start dictionary entry. Kadampa. Pauka aka kaudama sadam. Okay, Kadampa. So I want to explain the word Kadampa. These are the name of the first hippie Buddhists of Tibet. Most of them were not monks or nuns. Most of them were just family people. And they were the first Buddhist group in Tibet. Their name is Kadampa. Then why they got this name, Kadampa, it's Kadampar Sharwa. Say Dampar Sharwa. That's a beautiful meaning, okay? 2 days ago we had 2 birthdays. What did we do? I mean, we ate cake. That was the most important thing. But we also did something else. Yeah, we read something from that book, Tsongkhapa's life story. So we just opened the book and close our eyes and point to something, and it said something. I remember Osiris was love, the alchemical elixir. Okay, alchemical elixir means something which turns steel into gold. But bodhicitta is our alchemical elixir. Okay, if you love the whole world, if you want to help the whole world, this is the alchemical elixir for you. It will change everything in your life to gold, okay? Then that's Ka, okay? Tsongkhapa said that. That's Ka. Ka means it's the word of a holy being. It's called Ka. Dampa means personal advice that somebody gives you, okay? Like they take you, you're driving to Tucson to go to the airport with one of the older students from Diamond Mountain, and you say, you know, I have a problem with my boyfriend, and I was afraid to ask Geshe-la, but can you help me out? And then they will give you advice. That advice is called Dampa, okay? That advice is called Dampa. So Kad Dampa Sharwa means when you open the book and you see one line, it sounds like Buddha is talking to you. Okay? It sounds like Buddha is talking to you. So we don't believe in coincidence. In Buddhism, we don't believe in coincidence. When you open the book and you close your eyes, you can do it. All of you can do it this week, okay? When you have time, go to that big red book, close your eyes, open it, point to something, and your karma will give you advice, okay? Your own karma will talk to you. That's Kadampa. That's called Kadampa, okay? That's the meaning of the Kadampa, okay? So the Kadampa had a saying. They used to say, Kongmatsu means by those of the ancient times. Kongma means ancient times. Kongma, start dictionary entry. Kongma, okay? Ka, naro konga, Kongma. Kongma can mean ancient times, but it also means the emperor of China in Tibetan language, because Kongma means big man, like biggest man, okay? So that's the Tibetan word for Chinese emperor. It's called Kongma. What do you call it in Chinese language? Huangzi. So if you want to say it in Tibetan, you can say Kongma, okay? Okay. Kongma. But here it doesn't mean emperor. Here it means of the past. So in the past, those big Kadampas used to say, Chirki tempo ojaki gyula me. We have a shortage of Dharma teachings, of the general Dharma. It means in the first few 100 years in Tibet, they didn't have all the books from India yet. Okay? They didn't have them. They had 1 or 2 books. They didn't have them, and it took 700 years to translate them. And they worked all the time, okay? So we're having a meeting after this retreat in Sedona, and the team of Stanley's great team of translators, other translators, I think 10 or 11 people, we're going to start the 700 years. Okay? Okay. I'll stay for 680, then somebody else has to take care of it. Okay. But it will take we would like to translate these books into modern Chinese, so normal people can read them on the bus or on the subway or on the airplane to America. Okay? Ochaki Gilame. So they said, look, we don't have the general teaching, we don't have it. But Ochaki Temba, good Nuptama Songwa Go. So we have to keep the Dharma alive where? In our hearts, yeah. Manupa means it shouldn't sink like the sun. Okay? We say when the teachings die, we don't say teachings die in Tibetan. We say the sun of the teachings went down and it got dark. Because after that it will be dark. We will all be like Mongolia sewer kids. Okay? After that time, the world will be dark. Okay? So they said we are trying to keep the sun up in our hearts because we don't have the books. Okay? So we have to keep it alive in our hearts. Okay? Manuptu Masama Go Sungbatar, as they used to say, Sangeki Temba Chirtar Yang Rangula Temba Nubna, good Nupta Gyurpayin. If you get very good, it's like Stanley's poem. And by the way, we should have the other 2 poems, okay? Maybe this afternoon, okay? Sangeki Tembachir Dayang. It's possible for the books to spread, the videos to spread, but the sun goes down inside of people, okay? Inside of people. It becomes dark, okay? Gyula Temba Nubna, go Nubta Gyurpayan. And then the teaching has died inside of you, okay? So we have to protect the teaching. It's good to protect it's good to type all the books in. It's good to put them on the internet. It's good to translate them. We spent 28 years doing that. We put 20,000 books on the internet. There's 500,000 pages on the internet, free. It took millions and millions of dollars. and many, many thousands of hours, right? But that's not the teaching, okay? That's not the real teaching, okay? So we have to make sure we keep it alive inside, okay? And I met people, they can quote all the books and they have a big library and they're not nice people, then it means the teaching died. Then the teaching died, okay? There's some paper in a room, but the teaching died, okay? It's better the teaching is alive. Which is better? Teaching is alive in people, or the books are still here? How about both? Okay, but be careful that you don't save the books and you lose in your heart. Okay, be careful. We have to all be careful. It's possible. It's possible for all of us. Like that poem that you said. We're teaching people. I can teach you Tibetan words. I can teach you Buddhist words. But we're not nice to people. Then the teaching died. Okay. Number 4. We have about 20 more minutes, okay? So I'm glad to see, I think everyone got some sleep last night. During my evening class, I think. Okay. Okay. I couldn't get a chance during the class to sleep. Deyang sangye ki temba ne pat samdu ma se. Temba de la shupa yang chang te. There are still people practicing that teaching. Buddha came to the planet. Buddha said something. The teachings didn't die. And there are still people trying to practice, okay? I think we always have to say, trying to practice. Okay, like none of us is perfect. We all make mistakes all the time, okay? But somebody say, are you Buddhist? Yes. Are you practicing? I'm trying. If you're sure, you can say, I'm doing my best, but I'm not sure we're doing our best. Okay. Not only is the Buddhist teaching staying in the world, but there are people trying to practice it. And those teachings are still pure in India, in China, in Tibet. The ancient Indian teachings are still alive in China and countries in that area. Ngachi Drupta Kunla Chedu. Chedu means these precious, beloved teachings, these precious, beautiful, I like to call them sexy ideas, okay? Those beautiful ideas are still here, okay? They are still here. Chedu means we love them. Hle sell, okay? Start a dictionary entry, okay? We're doing a video dictionary, okay? We're putting words up on, important words or strange words we're putting up on YouTube in separate videos. There'll be 10,000 videos. Okay? Hle, so hle, la hatakla da hle. Hle is a very unusual word, and hle means corruption, or impurity, or pollution. Okay, so hle shuk means there was a teaching and then somebody corrupted it. Okay, so for example, yesterday we said when you come home and your husband or your wife yells at you and say you are stupid, there are really two husbands in the room. Okay? There are really two husbands in the room. Okay? One of them is coming from your husband. Okay? Your husband decides to yell at you. Okay? You are stupid. There's a husband who's not your fault and who's not coming from you. Okay? That's the first husband in the room. And he called you stupid. Okay? Because he decided to call you stupid. Okay? If somebody asks you, why did your husband call you stupid? You say, I don't know. He decided to call me stupid. It's his fault. Okay? That's one husband in the room. Okay? There's a second husband in the room. He's the one coming from you. He called you stupid because you called your kids stupid last week. You called them the stupidest kids in Zhengzhou or something. You are the stupidest kids in Zhengzhou. You're not getting ready for school. I can't believe it. I'm so unlucky to have kids like you, Okay? Then you planted a seed in your mind. It grew for 1 week because you were happy about it. I'm glad I yelled at my kids. They need somebody to yell at them, You put water on the seed. Then it grew, you came home, you opened the door, and your husband said, you are stupid, right? That's the second husband in the room, okay? The one who's coming from you, from your seeds, from what you said to your kids last week, okay? So there's one husband who's not your fault, and there's another husband who is your fault. The first one doesn't exist, never existed, couldn't exist, never will exist. And that's the one you're mad at. Okay? All your anger, all your hatred, all your upset, anytime you're angry, anytime you're upset, anytime you want another yojiao, that thing's not there. That husband was never there. He doesn't live in your address. Okay? Then there's a second husband. He's coming from you. That one exists. Okay? And that one always will exist, always did exist, will exist. And that one you can fix without telling him anything. That's great. I had a woman in Singapore. She said, my husband, I cooked for him for 30 years. He never washed the dishes once. I fight with him every night. He still won't wash the dishes. He wants to watch football on TV. Then I said, okay, just do the 4 steps, plant the seed. You don't have to talk to him anymore. Then I went to visit her. She said, I want to show you something. Cool, Geshe-la. Then she said, sit down in the dining room. I sit down in the dining room. Then the kitchen door opens. This man come out with a woman's apron. All flowers and lace. And he said, honey, what would you like for dinner? I said, he's not just washing dishes, now he's cooking? Yeah, I'm not going to stop with washing dishes, Okay. Then I went to a class, I went to a class, my student was teaching. He said, when your husband gets mad at you, just remember there's no husband. It doesn't exist. Everything is illusion. Then I'm waiting for the second husband. They didn't mention the second husband. You see? And that's hle, okay? That's hle. That's a long video for one word. Okay? That's hle. Hle means the teaching got twisted. The teaching got corrupted. Okay? Then next generation, they will say, Geshe Michael said nothing exists. Geshe Michael said, when you get angry, just pretend your husband's not there. No, I heard that. I heard people say that. Okay? It's very easy to make that mistake, right? So you have to be careful. That's hle, okay? We are lucky because hle sel here. Hle sel means those pollution or corruption or mistake in the teaching got cleaned away by the great lamas, okay? We are lucky. We're getting 100% unadulterated, pure Tsongkhapa Dharma, okay? He's unbelievable. If he doesn't agree with one word from India, he won't use it. He will talk for, if you want, I will teach you for 1 hour about Pershodara, okay? Pershodara, Sanskrit word. Tsongkhapa was upset about this word, okay? I spent 1 month on it, okay? I spent August on Pershodara, and he was upset about this word, Pershodara, Chandrakirti used this word.
Then Tsongkhapa said, I don't like it. Something's wrong. And he spent like 5 pages on it. And I don't know what he's talking about, And it took me a month. It took me a whole month. And I figured it out, But that's how careful he was, okay? Pershodara means the belly of a spotted cow. Because it used to be Pershat Udara. And then the T drops out. And then A and U become O, Pershodara. And he says, if you want another example, there's this old guy who wrote a book about yoga called Patat Anjali. Patat Anjali. And the T dropped out. And he became Patanjali. Patanjali. Okay? So those are 2 examples. And that's a long story. I'm not going to tell you. But what I'm saying is we live in a lineage where somebody will spend a month to make sure one word is correct, okay? And I like it. I like this lineage, okay. They cleaned up the open teachings and they cleaned up the Tantra teachings, okay? Tantra teachings got dirty in Tibet. In Tantra teachings, you're allowed to do unusual things. But some people did immoral things, okay? And Tsongkhapa cleaned this up. Dongak Tache, he cleaned up Ta and he cleaned up Che. Ta means how you view things. Oh, husband is coming from me. That's called Tawa. Chepa means you don't yell back. Okay? So 2 things are going on in the room when you see that your husband's coming from you. 2 things happen. Number 1, you have correct view. Oh, he's coming from what I did to my kids last week. Then Chepa means, how do you respond? How do you respond to the husband? And you say, okay, I'm stupid, what are you cooking for dinner? Okay, Tache. Tache Namdak means very pure. Sungdu Del, start dictionary entry. Sorry, so many today. Sung, say sung. Sung. So Tibetan doesn't have tones like Chinese, like woo, 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 woo. They have ta and ta. They have sung and sung. Sung, sung. This is sung, low one, sung, okay? Sung means a pair, okay? The most famous pair in Buddhism is Shariputra and Maudgalyayana. These are the 2 disciples of Buddha, okay? They are called the Sung, the pair, okay? But in the secret Buddhism, in the highest Buddhism, Buddhahood is called Sung, okay? Sung. Sung tu jukpa. Sung tu jukpa. Buddhahood, the word for Buddhahood, the word for enlightenment is Sung, the pair. The 2 come together. It's called, there's a great song by Janis Joplin, the combination of the 2. The ba-ba-ba, okay? It's a great name. It's the tantric word for enlightenment, the combination of the 2, okay? Sung juk, say sung juk. Sung juk, okay? In that case, it's the clear light and the rainbow body. Clear light and the rainbow body come together. Clear light and the body of the rainbow. Arco iris. Yeah, I like it. Comes together. And that's the tantric word for enlightenment, okay? Here, he's not talking about that. He's talking about the sung, the coming together of tawa and chepa. Tawa means, how do you view your husband while he's yelling? Chepa means, how do you react? And you have to bring those 2 things together, okay? It's not good to say, I'm a Buddhist, I understand that husband doesn't exist, and then start yelling, okay? Then you don't have sung. You see? You need both. the understanding and the reaction have to match. Okay? All right? You can have the reaction without understanding also. You can say, all right, I don't understand what Geshe Michael said about the husband, but I won't yell at you. You know, that kind of acting without understanding will collapse later. Okay? It doesn't survive. You can't keep it. Okay? If you don't understand why your husband's coming from you, you will never be able to behave properly with him. It's not, you will get angry. Someday you will get angry. You will break down. You will fight. Okay? Until you understand that all people are coming from you, you will fight. Someday you will, if someone push you, you will fight. Okay? It doesn't matter you're a Buddhist or you're a Christian, you go to church, you go to temple. If you don't understand where that person is coming from, and they push you hard enough, you will fight. Okay? You can say, I'm a yogi, I'm a hinsa, you know. But if they hit you, you will hit back. Okay? Some point you will hit back. Okay? If you don't understand. If you understand, the more they hurt you, the more peaceful you are. Okay? Because you're like happy. Husband called me stupid. Yay! I'm using up that bad seed I planted with my kids. You know, thank you. Call me stupid again. Okay. Then you feel happy. Oh, I used up those bad seeds from last week, you know. Okay? Only Buddhists can do that. Okay? Only a person who understands the pen will get softer and softer the more people hurt them. Okay? They get more and more love the more somebody hurts them. Okay? It's very beautiful. You can only do that if you understand. Okay? The understanding and reaction must soon come together. Soon to dewa. They must be connected. Okay? Stop dictionary entry. These are getting long. All right, 8 more minutes, okay? Hang in there. I gotta go fast because you have to meditate on these things, and I'm not going very fast. Dr. Gumbo Jamyang Niki Zepe Temba. Who did the cleaning of the Buddhist teachings? Manjushri. Okay? The Buddha of wisdom. Okay? Manjushri did. Jamyang Ni. Ni means he himself cleaned up the teachings. Serjang Tsoma Chidor Chepa Tabu. Serjang Tsoma means gold which you melt into liquid. Okay? Gold metal, and you make it hot, and it melts. And then all the dirty things burn out. Okay? So you have some gold, it's not pure, you melt it. You have a student who's not pure, you heat them up. You melt them. They have a breakdown. And then after that, they're a nice person. Okay. Soma Chidor Chepa means purify the gold. Okay? So the teaching which came to us from Tsongkhapa is like, from India, it was like gold, but he made it more pure. Okay? It didn't get worse, it got better every year. Okay? Very unusual. Shiro Chepa Tabu Dang Jawani, to meet this teaching, okay? In Tibet, in Buddhism, we don't say, if you go to a temple and you look at the Buddha statues and everything, the paintings, the tankas, we don't say, you're not allowed to say, I went to the temple and I looked at the paintings, okay? You have to say, I had the honor of meeting them. Okay, that's the word gel. Dictionary entry, gel. Like jello. Mao jala gel. Okay, gelwa is the honorific of tukpa. Tukpa means to meet somebody. Tukchung means I met him on the street. Okay? Gelwa means I had the holy honor of meeting him. Okay? So when you go to see the If you say to your friend in Tibetan language, where did you go this afternoon? They'll say, I went to the temple. I jawa the Buddha pictures. I jawa the statues. I mean, I had the honor to meet these holy things, okay? We don't say, yeah, I was going there, I saw him. Okay? We can't say that. We have to use polite words for temple. Okay. 1 more minute. 5 more minutes. Señor Optima Causa. Dina Johnny, Kumba le kyang kumba. Okay? Kumba le kyang kumba. Okay? Kumba. You know the word kumba because it is mispronounced in a special case. I'm not going to start a dictionary, it's too much. In the special case called coin choke. Coin choke, okay? It's mispronounced in one case. Coin choke. Let's do a dictionary entry. Taoka narukona kunba. Kunba means rare, okay? Kunba means rare, very rare. But there's a word, the most famous word using kumba is coin choke. So they changed the pronunciation. Coin choke. Okay, what's coin choke? The jewels. Coin choke soon means the 3 jewels. Okay, Buddha, Dharma, Sangha. Okay, Buddha, Dharma, and the Sangha. Okay, the 3 jewels. In Sanskrit, three ratna. Tri ratna. Tri ratna. Okay, tri means 3. Ratna means jewels. And when the Tibetans translated ratna, they called it coin choke. It means rare and supreme. Okay, rare and supreme. Okay. If you want to get into the Sanskrit root, you want to spend 10 minutes on the Sanskrit root? No, you don't want to do that. No, some other day. Okay. So here it says, Komba le kyang komba. Komba le kyang komba. More rare than rare. Okay? More rare than rare. Okay? Rarest of the rare. What's the rarest of the rare? To meet a teaching which got more pure for 2,500 years. Okay? To meet a teaching, every generation that passed it on made it more pure, especially with their effort to practice, okay? They practice hard, and that teaching got more pure, okay? I think we're doing it here. I really think that, okay? I think there was a bad time for Buddhism in the, last 100 years or 200 years. It became so mechanical. It became, you just go to the temple, you wave the incense, the monks, okay, $5. It just became like this, It became very boring and dry, and it just like no fun. And some people tell me, oh, DCI is not spiritual. I said, no, the other one's not spiritual. You see what I mean? To have fun, to put these ideas alive in people's heart is alive. Buddha teaching is alive. But just in the temple, go ba 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 ba. Nobody knows what you're saying. They don't know what they're saying. And it's all wrong anyway. It's misspelled. It's all, and then that's dead. To me, that's dead. I was talking to Scott, and he said such a nice thing. He said, I don't know, people say, we get letters sometimes, they say, we don't want a DCI program, we want a religious program. And I'm like, duh, go to level 7. So I think when the idea is alive in a living person who's having fun with those ideas and happy, that's Buddhism is alive. And then if you go someplace and people are just like, wah, 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 and, then I think it's dead. It's dead in that place. I believe that. Okay, so we are lucky. The teaching is I think it's getting more and more alive. Okay, people are more and more excited, more and more happy. And I don't think you have to join anything. You don't have to keep Geshe Michael picture in your house, and every day you're like, just in your heart, you're happy. In your heart, you're doing the 4 steps. You're helping other people. You're helping your country. You're making people happy. Then that's Buddhism to me. And then to keep many things in your house and, just put the incense. And incense is good, but it has to be happy with understanding. And you don't have to be monk. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. My dream in the future, normal people, have your family, have your job. Your job can be a temple. You can be a monk or a nun inside. Nobody knows. I had a woman, her name is Pelma. You know her? She's a small, fiery black woman from Barbados, Caribbean, and she used to work for me in the diamond business. Then she's really angry all the time. When I hired her, I'll tell you, don't tell her, okay? When she came to the job interview, company was growing very fast, and we were working till 2:00 every night, and getting up at 6. And so I interview her, and I say, we work a lot of hours, we work pretty tough hours, Is that okay with you? And she said, no, I won't do it. This is in the interview, in the job interview. I don't know why I hired her. Then later, she came to me and she said, what do you do? What do you really do? Tell me what you really do, And I'm like, what do you mean? And she said, you're not who you say you are. Something's going on, People yell at you and you smile, and then you're never nervous and you're always what's going on? What are you really doing? And I said, I'll tell you. You can come to the class, I have a class in the night, And I had a small class. My company gives me a hotel room every Wednesday night because I have to open the vault, big vault, like bigger, almost as big as this room, all filled with diamonds. Then I have to open it on Thursday morning. So I said, I cannot come. They said, we'll give you a hotel room, okay? So I was happy because I want to teach my class. All the students are sitting on the bed. I'm sitting on the desk. And they're sitting on the bed. And I'm teaching them Seru Dampe Do, Golden Light Sutra, which is the story of the tiger and the 5 baby tigers, which we saw in Deng Huang. So I'm teaching that. That night, only 2 guys came to the class. They are both handsome black guys. Then she came to the class. She's like, I like this class. Then those 2 guys became monk later. My Lama made them both a monk. And they became very good monk. And she became nun. Okay, now she's a very hot nun. And he gave her the name Pelma. That means fiery one. Okay, so why am I talking about that? Yeah, what was that? Oh, yeah. So that's my idea of the future of Buddhism. It's mainly you guys, and you don't have to stay in a temple, and you don't have to wear strange clothes. And anyway, if you look strange, it's not comfortable for other people. You see, if I go shave my head and go to New York, people will put me in the crazy house, and you have to fit other people, and you have to make them happy, and you can be a great teacher and have a normal life. You have a family, you have a job, you have a good job, and in the evening, in the hotel room, sitting on the desk, you can teach the students deep Buddhism. You see what I mean? And that's my idea of the future of Buddhism. Okay. So I think it's happening. I think it's exciting. And there's not temples and grumpy monks and nuns. Okay. Okay, we'll stop there.